Hey everyone, welcome to Whatever Wednesday, where I talk about whatever it is I want to talk about. And since I just passed 5,000 followers, I figured it's time I properly introduce myself. Hi, I'm the Catholic veteran. I was born and raised in the Midwest in a blue collar Catholic home. I'm a cradle Catholic. Both my parents were cradle Catholics too, with the faith running deep through the family line. When I was little, both of them worked full time just to make ends meet. The public schools in our area weren't very safe, so they scrapped together enough money and they were able to send me to the local Catholic school. I went there until second grade, where we moved to a better neighborhood and I was able to go to public school safely. And I continued my Catholic education through PSR. The faith was always in the background, shaping me, even if I didn't realize it at the time. So nothing truly exciting happened to me until my junior year in high school. I just left Algebra 2, and that was first period, and I walked into second period creative writing with Miss Sybil. I'll never forget it. A crowd of students were gathered around an old CRT television that was hanging in the corner, as they were, and a plane had just hit the World Trade Center. I watched live as the second plane struck. I watched people jump to their deaths. I watched both towers fall. And then we went on with the rest of our day. No one went home. There was no mental health days. Yes, this event changed everything for me, but people didn't leave school or miss work. It wasn't like people today when the president candidate that they don't like wins. We were a little stronger back then. So, what happened next? I became obsessed with the news. I was not really politically affiliated back then. I was in high school. I would watch CNN, MSNBC, Fox. I just needed to understand what was going on. 2 months after this, I dropped out of high school. I eventually got my GED and enlisted in the military. And by the time the invasion of Iraq started, I was in boot camp and I knew I'd be over in the sandbox eventually. But between 9/11 and joining the military, something else happened. January 6, 2002, another kind of explosion rocked the country. The Boston Globe published its Spotlight investigation exposing decades of abuse in the Catholic Church. If you've never seen the movie Spotlight with Michael Keaton, who's one of my favorite actors, go watch it. Do yourself a favor. That story not only rocked the world, it hit me personally. Two of my closest relatives came forward as victims. And hearing that my own blood relatives revealed that they were victims, that broke me in a way that I can't fully describe to you as I sit here right now. My trust in the Catholic Church was completely shattered. So I walked away, kind of. I stopped going to Mass, but to be honest with you, I never stopped believing what the Catholic Church teaches. I knew it to be true. I knew it was the church that Christ founded, which made every Protestant church I visited feel incomplete at best or wrong at worst. For nearly 20 years, I drifted, searching but never settling. I even married my incredible wife in her Lutheran LCMS church. And I came close to converting, but something always held me back from actually going through with it. Life went on. I served as a soldier, I worked in the prison system, and now I'm a police officer. Have seen a lot of darkness in 20 years, the things that normal people would never see. And that made my worldwide view very bleak. I couldn't see light beyond my immediate house and family. Everything out there was dark. And then, of all people, a Jewish man helped pull me back. But it's not the one you're probably thinking of. It was Ben Shapiro. I would listen to his podcast and listen to him talk about faith, about religion, and he would host Catholic leaders like Bishop Robert Barron, and it lit something in me. And this eventually led me back to Catholic Voices. I found Father Mike Schmitz, and I went through the Bible in a Year and Catechism in a Year podcast. And at the same time, my wife and I were still intermittently attending her Lutheran church, but I started talking with her. These conversations turned into decisions. And after 20 years, I went to confession for the first time. I told my wife that I couldn't keep doing the Lutheran services and I wanted to go back to being Catholic. And this started a whole new chapter in my life. I had my first marriage annulled and my current marriage convalidated, and I was finally able to receive the sacraments again. My wife, who was raised Lutheran and came from a very anti Catholic family, started attending Mass with me. At first, she did it to support me, which I can't thank her enough for, but then she started asking questions. I got to watch Grace work in real time, and it was beautiful and amazing. What started as her just sitting beside me turned into her being set on fire with questions and hunger for the truth. 2 years later, she went through RCIA and entered the Church of the Easter Vigil. Now she tells me she loves the Catholic faith and the fullness that it has that Lutheranism left behind. So here I am. I'm back in full communion with the one holy Catholic and Apostolic Church. The prodigal son has returned home, and the Father welcomed me with open arms. And I almost teared up just saying that. But more than that, I came back to the Eucharist, to Christ Himself, body, soul, blood, and divinity. And I'm home. And this time, I'm never leaving. Thank you for watching, and God bless.